Men are more logical. They're not as tied to their emotions as women are. So if something doesn't make sense, they're out. But for a woman, if something doesn't make sense, her heart will make it make sense. Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Gabby and welcome back to my channel. Okay y'all, so I was going on a walk, and y'all know how it gets when I go on a walk. My mind just be flowing, things just be coming in and going out. And today I really want to get into something about relationships. I haven't been talking a lot about relationships on my channel. I used to, but I stopped because I started going through things in my own love life, and my own love life is still pretty tender. I'm still learning, gathering information, letting things go, breaking old ways, building new habits. When the time is right, I will begin to talk more about those things. I also stopped talking about relationship type stuff because there are so many experts out there, and these people know what they're talking about, but there's also so many people who don't know what they're talking about, and I didn't want to be one of those people who was putting out content from a broken or hurt or ignorant place. So I just had to sit down, you know, while I went through my process and working on getting where I'm getting to go where I'm going. But I was thinking about this because men seem to struggle more with the concept of having that one who got away than women do. I think for women it's more so they think about him or they're attached to him in some way, mentally or physically, but I don't think women ever see a man as the one who got away and they just miss that man or continue to play the recordings in their heads. I was just thinking about how men and women just seem to love so differently, and regardless of what happened in a relationship to make it end, women just always seem to hurt so much more than men. I'm not saying that men don't hurt, because I know they do. Like, we're all humans. They still have emotions and feelings too. They are just been brought up for so many years, decades, centuries to suppress their emotions and pretty much not have them. So I know men hurt as well, but it just seems like women are always the one who are heartbroken to the core, okay? So I was just thinking about that and the whole concept of one having a person who got away. And I think it makes sense for men to more so experience that feeling of a woman being the one who got away, because naturally and historically a man is a hunter. He is the one who goes after a mate to try to achieve that mate, for that mate to receive him. But I think it's clear to see, and we know, like, even in a lot of these movies, I've been watching a lot of old school movies lately, like For Color Girls, Waiting to Exhale, and Not Easily Broken, and stuff like that, just because there's a lot of old movies like that I haven't seen that I just really want to see, that I feel like I should see. So I just been watching them, and I just kind of been seeing how women give and give and give, and they just seem to hurt so much more and just have so much more work to do in recovering from a relationship. And I think a part of that is because so many of us have been chasing after men, and there's so much other content out there specifically about how women chase men, if that's something that you wanted to get into more. But so many of us do it, and I don't think we realize that we do it. And I think it's so key to understand if you are a woman who does go after a man, because it can deeply affect the relationship in general and what happens when the relationship ends. So men are also being taught these days too to attract women, to get women flocking to them, so they don't have to go to women and chase women, which is like backwards. But some men just want to be that type of guy who just have women coming to him constantly, consistently. And I think that type of man is kind of scary to deal with, because when a man goes out to do something and he gets it done, he did what he wanted to do and he feels good about it. But if something is given to him, I think he will appreciate it, but it just means so much more when he worked hard to get it. I could be wrong, I'm not a man, but this is just from the things that I've been learning recently, based off what I've read, what I've seen, what I've heard, and what I know from my own experience. But it seems to tie together so well, because You have relationships where if something goes wrong or awry for any reason, and a man that was really deeply connected with this woman who he went after and achieved, if that woman leaves, he seems to be so sunken over this woman. You know, you see how some, like if you ever seen Power, how Angie had came back into Ghost's life and he totally was like, forget Tasha, period. Like this woman who held him down, you know what I'm saying, he said forget her. He still had that love for Angie. That's just like, how could you possibly still feel this way about this woman? Like you have this ride or die wife with 2 beautiful children, and though y'all are doing illegal activity, y'all have created a life, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he just totally disregarded her because to him she was the one who got away. Not even because anything he did, but just because she simply moved away. But she still held that place in his heart. He was with Tasha and they were talking and everything, but he really sealed the deal with Tasha because of what she did for him when they were in the car. So when you think about it, it's like the connection between a man and a woman is different for a man than it is from a woman, different for a woman than it is from a man. And I think it's so important for us to understand this because it really affects the relationship. Like a man is really going to be hurt and sunken if that woman breaks off from the relationship for any reason. And if he does move on, it's like a loss to him. So he's just going to keep thinking about it unless he really does that deep healing work to sever that soul tie and let her go. But on the opposing end though, it's like whether a woman is approached by a man or she chases a man, it seems like the hurt is still detrimental either way. And I think that's partially because women, we are just natural born lovers. Even if you are a woman who is not emotional, you still want love. You still desire love. You still want to be loved, catered to, and appreciated. That's just how we were created. So I think regardless of how a woman gets a man, she still wants these things and she still wants it to work out. It always ends in like some sort of tight bond. And I was thinking about my relationships and about how I never liked the guys who I was with at the time that they wanted to talk to me. Now I'm not saying that I didn't like them. I was just with somebody that I didn't like, but I'm saying they approached me, you know what I'm saying? So you would think like by the time the relationship fell off that I would be like, fine, like I ain't never really liked you like that anyway. But I think women have a way of, an unhealed woman has a way of contorting herself to fit with a man regardless if she was interested from the jump or not. It just makes me wonder how many people are getting in relationships and situationships with people that they don't even like. How many people are doing that? Because when I think about my previous relationships, though I was young, but I'm not going to discredit that because let's be real, like these relationships start young. These kids be in elementary school talking about they got a girlfriend or boyfriend. So it starts young. And when I think of myself like being in those relationships, these dudes were interested in me and I was just going off of the visuals and the fact that this dude liked me, which is very childlike, right? But a lot of adults are doing this too, that are still doing this, like going off of looks. Even when you really think about it, like yes, looks matter to some people, like looks are important. Like you at least want to be attracted to who you are talking to and who you are with. But when you know this person, the looks won't matter anymore. Because I know y'all have dealt with somebody who y'all thought was so fine, and after y'all go through all the mess with them, at the end of it you just be like, what was I thinking? And even if they are really like 10 on 10 on 10, by the time you get to the end of that relationship and y'all are done, they are not attractive to you anymore. But so many of us are getting with people just based on how they look, and if they like, okay, you cool. So like these boys and young men who are wanting to talk to me, at some point possibly wanting to be with me, I never really even knew them like that to want to be with them. Like a relationship wasn't established enough, like a friendship wasn't established enough for me to say, okay, you could be my boyfriend. It's happening so much in adulthood too. Like people be so ready to get in the bed, honey. They be so ready to get in bed and they don't even know if they like this person. So then you start building a relationship based off the D or the P, And only a few relationships out here, only a few people are blessed enough to have gone down that rabbit hole with the right person. I don't think that happens very often. And so many sources say that men are first initially attracted by the looks, and then everything else gets added to the list of why they liked you or why they were attracted to you. Women have this certain thing in their head that they want image wise, and when the man fits that, I think she makes that the most important, so that even when red flags do come out, she just like, oh, it's okay, it's not that bad, you know, just knocking them out. Because how he looks is the #1 thing for a lot of broken women. You want to be attracted to who you're talking to, but you can't go into this new thing with this person and just be thinking,
oh, he's cool and down to earth, oh, he's fine,
and just let that be, because you don't know anything about that person. What really do you know about that person? I didn't really know anything about them. Some of them I knew who they were because I saw them around school, but I didn't really know them. And even when we started talking, it's not like we were getting to know each other, like we were just talking on the phone. And when I got older, when I started talking to other people, you know, that I met outside of school or whatever, I didn't know him. We would spend time like texting and talking or whatever, and I would be like, okay, like he's cool, but I didn't know anything about really what he liked, what he didn't like, what he was into. And I'm a dater. I dated to date. I didn't date just to be out here in these streets. If that was you, I'm not judging you. I'm just saying that wasn't me. Even if I wasn't with somebody and I wanted to be with somebody, I still wanted to be like exclusive. And I was thinking about this because my kids is that I actually liked him, but I knew him and had been talking to him as friends for 1.25 years until we even started dating. I actually had a friendship founded, and I liked this guy. And when things started getting rocky with him, I was really hurt. But it's funny though, because even the guys that I wasn't interested in the beginning and that were interested in me first, I was just as hurt when things went sour with them too. So it's just like, how does that happen? I don't think it happens like that for a man. At the end of the day, men really do know what they want, and they play a lot of games, even if they don't mean to, because they're not very conscious of what they're doing and their decisions, because they're just childish or uneducated. They know what they want, at least a smidge of that. And men are more logical. They're not as tied to their emotions as women are. So if something doesn't make sense, they're out. But for a woman, if something doesn't make sense, her heart will make it make sense. So it's so funny how whether a woman will chase after a man or just receive a man and she falls for him, she could still be broken in the end. But if a man is approached by a woman and it doesn't work out, he gone. It seems like he's not even thinking about you. He's over you in 2 seconds. But if it's somebody who he really wanted, that he got, it broke off for whatever reason, he's crushed. This is something I think we should be gleaning more information about. I mean, we should be learning about ourselves, but also other people too. Because one thing I really learned in 2022, and just continue to build on top of continuing, is that men or women, we're just different. Like, we're just totally different, but there's a way that we can come together in harmony. But that's not going to go so well if we don't know about the opposite sex and how each other operates. And women really have to guard their heart. Now, there's some scandalous women out there, so men have to guard their heart too. But research shows that men mature slower, so women are usually ready quicker to advance in certain things in life than men are. Men also have a higher libido, which causes issues, you know, relationally. And then women live life on this time clock, you know, because we have a biological clock that is ticking from early age, and we deeply take that into consideration. So just those 3 things alone just go to show how different men and women are, and how we just on different pages. I don't think women chase men knowing that they're doing it. A woman with a plan and ambition does not play around. And if having a family is a part of that plan, she's going to need a man. Okay, So I don't think every woman is just out here chasing. They just want love. And a lot of men are not looking for love. They just are looking for a good time. And the men that are looking for love, a man doesn't really know how to go about that. I really believe that's why women just seem to hurt more than men. Feel free to contribute to the conversation. Y'all let me know what y'all think. That's it for today, y'all. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video, and until the next one, peace and love.